The mask is off, and this is the reality. This is your moment. Yes, you are the one who persisted, refusing to give up even when the odds were stacked against you. Someone attempted to block your light in order to alter the tale, but guess what? The game just broke apart, and you're still as powerful as ever. This is not just about their failure, it's about your advancement. So lean in, because here is the turning moment you've been looking for. It's time to own it, claim it, and shine as you were made to. Financial abnormalities. You can no longer hide behind the shroud of complexity. The truth, formerly entangled in a maze of numbers, now shines through with searing clarity. These figures were thoroughly examined, exposed hidden assets, unusual transactions, and manipulated accounts. What was once a tangle of numbers has evolved into an unmistakable road plan for deceit. Each entry is a quiet expression of purpose. These documents are more than just remains of commerce. They are the permanent fingerprints of treachery. Digital communication, which was formerly used to strengthen trust ties, has now become the key to exposing deception. Emails and conversations exchanged in the hopes of maintaining secrecy become incontrovertible testimonials. What were previously whispered agreements, secret methods, and short admissions now rip through pretenses like a razor blade. Communication artifacts, previously innocent, now serve as indisputable proof of planned malice. Their importance resonates like an unending storm. Words have significance not just in their meaning, but also in their rhythm, resonance, and constant presence. Then come the accounts, those who saw, those who understood, and those caught up in the pandemonium. These are not quiet disclosures. They are loud utterances that knock down pretenses and bring the hidden into the light. Witnesses do more than retell events. They demolish illusions, revealing the source of deceit. Each recall, each aligned fact, ties the falsehoods closer to their inevitable collapse. What remains is not the comfort of ambiguity, but the harshness of exposure. Their planned measures to undermine and conceal have now been highlighted by their own devices. Every attempt to block has only exacerbated their guilt, locking them in their own web of deception. What they constructed on, lies, starts to crumble. Their objectives are collapsing under the weight of incontrovertible evidence. With each deceptive behavior and effort to transfer responsibility, the veneer deteriorates. Falling to unveil their objectives in uncompromising detail, their unbridled confidence and dismissive attitude provide a striking picture of what has occurred. A timeless lesson on arrogance, misjudgment, and the relentless power of perseverance. They raced ahead, fueled by their own feeling of dominance. Assuming victory was certain, their haste, fueled by hubris, blinded them to the dangers ahead. They acted recklessly, taking shortcuts and neglecting the integrity of the process, believing that speed alone was the most effective tactic. But the fact is apparent: recklessness thwarts growth, and their mistakes become the very weapons of their downfall. Their cocky confidence became their Achilles heel, pushing every poor move as they pursued brief victories, displaying their efforts and wasting their resources. You moved with purposeful intention, steadfast and calm. Your approach was marked by anything other than flair and spectacle. It required resilience, discipline, and belief in a steady road ahead. The internal conflicts you experienced, the unexplainable fatigue, and periods of unbalance were not coincidental. These were echoes of their efforts to disrupt you, subtle maneuvers intended to sap your resolve. Despite everything, your strength has persevered, a tribute to the importance of concentration and endurance. A major transformation has occurred. Where tiredness formerly existed, you are experiencing a surge of renewed vigor. They rekindled a power they thought had died out. The peace that they wanted to break is returning. It reveals itself in subtle but clear ways. This isn't just chance, it exemplifies genuine reclaiming. Your body starts to reflect the changes. Clarity sharpens, vigor blossoms, and previously subdued senses awaken with fresh brightness. The world seems to be exaggerated. Shades are richer, sounds are deeper, and every move is intentional. Creativity flows easily, as if the walls to your inner genius have broken down, unleashing ideas and solutions with easy ease. This is the inevitable outcome, when their hold fades and their might crumbles beneath its own weight. The change is evident. It declares itself openly, heralding the restoration of everything taken. You aren't only recovering your footing, you are rising beyond where you were before. Their ambitions are now relics of the past, buried under the weight of your onward progress. You have seen it plainly. The fractures in their carefully crafted veneer have grown wider, revealing their weaknesses to the light of day. Those who formerly looked unstoppable now stumble, their illusions crumbling under your relentless climb. Now is the moment to share God's blessings by clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube. With a $100 gift or more, you can help him realize his vision and be a part of this heavenly mission. Every contribution symbolizes God's generosity, and I think it will return back to you enormously, far beyond your expectations. Remember that His protection and blessings are with you at every step and gift. You become a part of His divine plan. You are a powerful, dazzling entity, as solid as the massive rock that saw God's marvels. Feel the rewards of your kindness in your spirit and light up the world with confidence and bravery. Be blessed and let the light of the Lord lead you. Tension permeates every instinctive action. They can no longer hide their disquiet. Shifting looks, tightening jaws, and restless fingers, drumming a wordless cadence, reveal their mounting discomfort. They avoid direct confrontation by speaking in terse, measured terms, as if terrified of their own voices. Betraying them in the process screams louder than any admission. This is not control. It is the undeniable grasp of terror. Frustration flickers at the margins, erupting in brief grimaces and angry remarks. These are not little idiosyncrasies, but holes in their carefully crafted attitude. Where they formerly projected authority, there is now a tangible discomfort, a subtle acknowledgement that the veneer is eroding. Every uncomfortable pause and slip of the tongue suggests that the fantasy they've been holding on to is slipping away. A deeper resonance beckons to you, bypassing rationality and reaching right to the heart of your being. It reveals itself not in words, but in times of synchronicity, patterns and symbols that seem to be designed. These repeats are not accidental. They are purposefully included throughout your trip as indicators of intent. Each event reverberates with significance, a peaceful conviction that invisible powers are directing you. The fabric of reality itself seems filled with purpose, providing you with a subtle but undeniable assurance that you are linked with something much bigger than coincidence. These are not subtle nudges. They are powerful affirmations engraved into the rhythm of your life. Your quest to greatness begins here. Subscribe today and we'll make it happen. Some dreams go beyond normal sleep, transporting you to regions of undeniable significance. These sights refuse to fade with the early light, remaining with you like bits of an everlasting tune. They provide ideas that strongly connect, exposing realities you've always felt but hesitated to define. Like a candle suddenly illuminating a darkened room, these are not transient mental inventions, but rather times when your inner understanding connects with invisible forces, providing you with clarity and direction. Then there are the jolts of realization. Flashes of understanding are so precise, it's as if the universe is revealing the blueprint for your route. These alignments, these remarkable synchronies, are not coincidental. They provide as indisputable confirmations that your energy is in sync, directing you to the next stage on your quest. The link between what exists inside and what emerges from the outside is unavoidable, a thread that cannot be cut. Their carefully planned veneer has started to tear, revealing the content of what lies behind. The pressure of maintaining pretend seeps into their tone, sharpening it with bitterness and exposing flaws in their carefully crafted image. Words slide, bearing accidental confessions of bitterness, insecurity, and fear that flow into their utterances like ink on paper. Under pressed, their carefully constructed veneer crumbles, exposing their genuine nature for everyone to see. Without accusation or confrontation, their own acts and words shatter the illusion that they worked so hard to build, leaving the reality vivid and irrefutable comprehension. The severity of the problem is the first step in ensuring your safety. Those linked to the truth, now exposed, may seek to pry, either discreetly or blatantly, in the hopes of obtaining information. They may twist your words, God, as if they were riches, and in the wrong hands, they can be converted into manipulative instruments. Speak wisely, exposing just what cannot be distorted. Keep records, not out of fear, but as a means of protection, capturing the spirit of each encounter with a controlled undertone. These notes are your armor, a monument to your honesty in case you ever need to refute misinformation. Building solid boundaries is a purposeful act of preservation, a proclamation that your time and attention are valuable. You have no reasoning and no access to your inner world. Trust the tiny indications of how a space changes the tone of a question, the uneasiness that persists after certain interactions. These aren't coincidences. They're signals that will help you discover concealed agendas. Your intuition is sharper than you know, capable of detecting intentions that words may obscure. Limit activities that deplete or distract your energy. Creating space is not synonymous with avoidance. It represents wisdom. Trust your instincts and react minimally to probing queries. You retake control, ensuring that your integrity stays impenetrable and your path is unobstructed. You are watching an intentional orchestration of events, since nothing happens by coincidence. Their exposure isn't arbitrary. It is the unavoidable outcome of forces working together to restore balance and justice. What had been concealed for so long was never fully hidden. It waited for the exact time when its disclosure would have the most effect, aligning with your development and preparedness. Their demise is more than merely the outcome of their wrongdoings. It is a natural resetting of the equilibrium they hope to exploit. The exquisite timing of these occurrences, beyond comprehension. Ensure that the scales tilt only when you are about to enter the place they formerly governed. This isn't just the end for them. It provides an opportunity for you to go on without their meddling. A series of events that led you here. Your tenacity, the indications you've followed, and their faltering moves are not coincidental. It is the exact unfolding of cause and effect, guided by unwavering ideals. Justice manifests itself not in haste, but in careful and unwavering advancement. Their disintegration is not an accident. It is a message, a breakdown of the authority they held unfairly. What they attempted to capture has now slipped through their hands, not by chance, but because balance required it. This is the critical time for alignment. You were supposed to see the confluence at which truth arises, empowering you and restoring what is properly yours. This is your moment. Subscribe today, and let's make dreams a reality. The story of unbridled ambition serves as a constant warning of the dangers of excess. Their obsessive desire of control, like the mythical figure driven by his own insatiable greed, has landed them in a trap of their own creation. They agreed. Their hubris made them oblivious to the consequences of their conduct. What they perceived as strength has become their downfall, collapsing beneath the weight of their own self-inflicted consequences. Their tale reflects the reality. That fixation with shortcuts and unfettered ambition always leads to failure, trapping them in the same forces they attempted to dominate. Integrity is your most powerful protection. Quick remedies and unbridled ambition may provide momentary benefits, but they fail under the pressure of time and examination. Base your activities on unshakable ideals and honesty. Even if the road is slower, you guarantee that your foundation stays solid, avoiding the final collapse that awaits those who sacrifice their ideals. You are watching the inevitable disintegration of those who thought they could avoid responsibility. Their deeds have caught up with them, depleting their resources and determination. The carefully created image they depended on is crumbling, undone by the same deceptions they employed to keep power. Their fatigue is not just physical. Maintaining falsehoods comes at a high cost. They now stand naked, unable to generate the fortitude to restore the veneer that once characterized them. Their dissatisfaction stems from their inability to influence the forces they formerly thought were within their authority. This is not retribution, but rather a rebalancing of what was previously skewed in their favor. Their efforts to distort results, avoid facts, and reject accountability have brought them to this point of desperation. The weight of what they had evaded for so long is suddenly bearing down on them. They're no longer untouchable. The realities they dreaded the most have emerged, obvious and inevitable. This is not a random disaster, but the unavoidable consequence of their decisions. Their failure is not due to chance. It is the return of what they gave out, now seeking its rightful place. This moment serves as a reminder of a timeless concept. Whatever is concealed will eventually come to light. It is a monument to the unwavering strength of integrity, proof that a life without principles is bound to fail. Their reckoning is more than simply a fall. It reflects the timeless fact that all actions have consequences. Experience what it actually means to be selected. You are not alone on this path. If you have a profound sense that you have been selected, you have come to the correct spot. Take the next step to connect with us. By selecting the Join button, you will have access to special information and receive the necessary support for your spiritual journey. This isn't simply about being a member of a community. It's about gaining unique insights that may change your life and bring you closer to your divine purpose. Make your decision now and join us on this trip. Take your spot among the selected ones. Join today. Their demise is tumultuous, with a slew of ramifications. This is a testimony to what occurs when your ambition is founded on manipulation and lies. The message is obvious. A path founded on truth and honesty is unshakable, because the basis of what you build with honesty is connected with the natural order. External forces cannot undermine it. The premise is straightforward. Deceit fades, but genuineness persists. The energy clashed with yours from the start, which is why their grasp was never sustainable. They were working against the grain of balance, manipulating and using force to distort reality in their favor. Without the strength to withstand it, their breakdown was a testimonial to your strength, a barrier that kept you from being drawn into their madness. This is your moment of clarity, a validation that your honesty is your most powerful shield. When you behave in sync, no amount of dishonesty can derail your progress. Let their failure serve as a reminder of empowerment rather than fear. Your climb is unavoidable if your goals are clean, your actions are clear, and your energy is connected with your genuine purpose. The warning words of Friedrich Nietzsche: "Whoever battles monsters must ensure that he does not become a monster," echo powerfully in this time. Their breakdown is the outcome of surrendering values, of allowing deception and money to govern their actions. When confronted with such forces, you may be tempted to reply in like, allowing anger or revenge to drive your actions. However, it is the precise trap that led to their downfall. Allow their fall to serve as both a warning and a guide, encouraging you to remain true to your principles. Hold faithful to what is noble and true, for honesty is your most powerful armor. Resist the draw of chaos by refusing to allow their activities influence your decisions. Instead, soar above, understanding that genuine power is found in clarity, purpose, and alignment. Purposeful acts grounded in truth will propel you ahead, unaffected by the noise around you. Maintain your concentration on the long-term goal and allow no distractions to derail you from your larger purpose. The collapse you saw was the predictable consequence of activities made contrary to universal principles. Use this as a compass during your voyage. Every choice, every action you perform must be rooted in sincerity, clarity, and steadfast dedication to your ideals. This is how you keep your foundation stable, regardless of external disturbance. The people you let into your life have a significant influence on the energy that determines your destiny. Seek out folks whose honesty inspires and strengthens you, and whose presence nourishes rather than depletes your progress. Be aware of subtle indicators, behavioral alterations, motives disguised as pretense, or energy that seems to be mismatched. Do not hesitate to establish distance when it is required. Protecting your space does not constitute withdrawal. It is cultivation, a purposeful act of creating an atmosphere in which your potential may flourish unimpeded. Relationships aren't always permanent. Some people enter your life to teach you what you need to let go of in order to go on. Recognizing when to release go demonstrates strength, not weakness. Misaligned connections often manifest as pain, a constant heaviness, an imbalance in energy, or relationships that deplete your soul. When a link no longer serves your purpose, releasing it takes guts. Energy was spent into something that no longer aligns, only detracts from your pursuit of your larger purpose. Look for telltale signs, such as subtle manipulations, unsaid conflicts, or a lack of mutual respect. These are not signals of failure, but rather chances for clarification. Sever relationships are not formed out of anger, but on design. Recognizing that what is no longer beneficial to your progress has no place in your path. Their demise demonstrates your tenacity. Where others tripped, you stood firm, refusing to compromise your ideals, even when the road required more work. Their choices highlight the pitfalls you dodged, the meaningless wins, shortcuts, and compromises. They accepted their defeat, which only strengthens your determination, demonstrating that integrity is the cornerstone of real and enduring strength. This is about more than just their mistakes. It's also about your capacity to overcome them. You have survived and thrived by prioritizing sincerity above pretend. Their failure demonstrates your strength, the ability to face obstacles without surrendering your integrity, and to traverse hardships while staying loyal to your goal. Their fall reflects your determination to stand steadfast on your convictions, demonstrating that truth-based resilience leads to long-lasting power. Take this opportunity to celebrate your progress, acknowledge the strength you've developed, and reconfirm your commitment to the road you have chosen. I once put my faith in a colleague who believed in the importance of shared words, only to learn that they had communicated my private ideas with others. The betrayal was severe and devastating. It left me upset, doubting my judgment and unsure about the connections I made. But when I took a step back, clarity appeared. Their actions compelled me to reconsider my limits and reinforce the significance of conserving my energy. This event helped me identify who really supported me and who did not. It changed my perspective on trust, converting what felt like a tragic loss into a transforming lesson. If you experience anything similar, let it inspire you to reinforce your boundaries and seek out interactions that elevate rather than damage. Betrayal is not a personal failing. It's a shift, an opportunity to form lasting connections based on respect and caring. Every struggle is a chance to discover your own inner power and insight. The unraveling of individuals who formerly lived on deception represents a larger transition. Their dominance, based on manipulation, is crumbling under the weight of its own deception. The structures they constructed are crumbling, allowing individuals who act with dignity and purpose to fill the hole. Their demise is not coincidental. It's a realignment, a clearing the way for people like you to advance. The moment requires bravery and clarity, prompting you to seize possibilities that correspond with your principles. This is more than just a shift in situation. It is the restoration of equilibrium, a watershed moment in which honesty triumphs over pretense. Your activities will now solidify, and you will find your due position. And this transition indicates the start of something bigger than the buildings that have collapsed. Realize your potential, subscribe now, and let's make something spectacular. Opportunities that seemed far are suddenly within reach, approaching with a momentum that requires your attention and alertness. The shroud of doubt has lifted, providing a clear way ahead that demands your conscious action and alignment. The core of ancient wisdom tells us that although the perfect time to act has gone, the current moment is just as potent. If completely accepted, ground yourself in your goals, sharpen your vision, and allow the energy of the moment to propel you forward. You did not get to this point by coincidence. It is the outcome of tenacity and purpose. Trust that what is happening now is intended for you and is waiting for you to claim it. With conviction, the difficulties you encountered were not arbitrary barriers, but milestones that formed your capacity to stand steady at this time. You are here because you learned how to pivot, adapt, and overcome any obstacle. Each challenge led you to find a power inside yourself that you may not have realized otherwise. Now, when you walk into your power, do it with grounded confidence, acknowledging the road that has brought you here. This is more than simply completing objectives. It's about embracing the lessons they taught you along the road. Your success is not an opportunity to look down on others, but rather an invitation to rise above the turmoil that formerly attempted to keep you down. Celebrate with humility and thankfulness, understanding that your strength stems from what you've been through and the knowledge you've received in the process. This is your opportunity to go ahead with purpose, not only to win, but to excel. Your power stems from your unshakable honesty. Allow people to be pulled to your sincerity, rather than being caught in disorder. This is not the end, but rather a turning point in your path. Maintain your tranquility by staying focused on the journey ahead. Desperation may drive others to irresponsible behavior, but follow your instincts and stay resilient. Every struggle has prepared you for this upswing. Share your experience to inspire others, demonstrating the power of alignment and truth. This is your opportunity to improve. And this is simply the beginning.